All right, so next on the agenda, I have to introduce Mr. Andy Chakalis. Andy has been involved with the gardens. Andy and Faith have been involved with the gardens for over 30 years. And when I started becoming involved, I went to the City Planning Commission, I went to the Landmarks Commission, I went to all these places. They wouldn't even talk to me. I mean, it's like, okay, are you working with Andy Chakalis? And I go, yes. He goes, okay, then we'll set up an appointment. Because if you're not, it's like, we don't want to start from scratch again. He's been doing this for a long, long time. So, I want to turn the microphone over to Andy. Where are you, Andy? Thank you.
Thank you for inviting Faith and I to this milestone occasion. In 1991, HPS was founded, and I was fortunate to be a founding board member. Then somewhere between 1992 and 93, there was an individual by the name of Pete Chakalis who called me and introduced me to the Greek garden. And it was through his suggestion that perhaps the Hellenic Preservation Society would consider taking over the responsibility for the upkeep and maintenance of the garden. The board was approached and who agreed to take total care of the renovation and replanting and to continue the maintenance of the garden. This was representing the entire Greek community of northeastern Ohio. Special mention, HBS became the first ethnic organization to support a garden, and it became a blueprint for other gardens in the future. In retrospect, thinking back at what Pete was trying to do was virtually impossible. I was invited to a meeting at the Cultural Garden Federation, and before I went back to the board, I realized that Pete was quite similar to other representatives, basically on their own, trying to take on an impossible task for what was at hand. HPS approached the garden project as it was restoring a fine work of art. The first step in our process was to secure a landscape architect. We were fortunate to be able to engage Jim McKnight, who was selected to develop a master plan for the garden. And the reason why I mention that is that if you try to present a garden to a broad community, I would like to have you know where you're seated right now would be a vegetable garden. The west slope would be donated to another community group for the development of a garden, and I can go on. So thus the importance of having a master plan was crucial for us to succeed. The plan was referenced off of the original garden design, and we broke down the garden to, this is our central court, west slope, north and south slopes. And the reason for that is because we had some competition by volunteers on whose quadrant would look the best. And that was quite good. After the master plan was approved and realized, fundraising began. I want to make special note that the Hellenic Preservation Society secured a block grant for $15,000. These funds were dedicated to improving the garden's infrastructure, sandstone replacement, rebuilding the fountain surround, reconstruction of the stone benches, repair of staircases on the west slope, and the entrance walkway was replaced along with the walkway from the Greek to the Italian garden. We were lucky to secure the services of Mr. Sal Fusco, stonemason, to execute these repairs. To note, Sal Fusco was the last stonemason employed by the city of Cleveland. Why? Because concrete was replacing sidewalks as a material. Special note that Sal Fusco's father was also a master stone carver. Believe it or not, his father worked on the original WAPA project incorporating the garden project, and I'd like to mention to you the Doan Brook, the watershed project that is still there. All of those stone walls were constructed at that time. All the sandstone used to make the repairs was obtained from the Amherst Stone Quarry, which was a quarry that supplied the original stone for all of the gardens. The Guardians on the Hope Memorial Bridge, that's the quarry where that stone was obtained from. And I want to make a special note that once we were exploring the infrastructure repair work, the Amherst Stone Quarry was dormant for a number of years. Actually, I was told for several decades. We were fortunate enough that the Amherst Stone Quarry was reactivated, and it was necessary that there was a British firm that purchased the quarry and reopened the stone quarries. So we were quite fortunate to be able to match the original stone from the original construction to our restoration project. In 1996, the year of Cleveland's bicentennial, the Greek Cultural Garden hosted the Cultural Garden Federation's One World Day. An official ceremony was held at the Greek Garden, and the newly renovated garden was rededicated. It was the hope of the HPS organization that undertaking this project, we would foster new community gardens. When we started, we felt there was a tremendous time warp and void of other community gardens being placed along the corridor. And in 2005, the Indian Garden was dedicated. It was the first new garden since the Chinese Garden was established in 1985. Improvements on the garden continued. The urns on the other side of the poets, on the Parthenon wall, and alongside the poet bench, were replaced with the help of Mr. Chris Pasco, again using stone from the Amherst Stone Quarry. It was during this period at the Cultural Garden Federation meeting that Richard Konashevas, who worked in the mayor's office of Michael R. White, shared an early map of the original cultural gardens. I was seated and I accepted the document, and as I looked at the bottom of the illustration, it became apparent to me that the illustration referenced the size, the imprint for the Parthenon wall. That was the very first time that the light bulb went on that perhaps we are missing this component in the Greek garden. We were aware of the inscriptions on the panels, but we had no other visual reference to the names that were inscribed. Today we are here to initiate the Frieze Commission at last. Chris Pasco had recommended Nicholas Fairplay as a sculptor, master stone carver, who would be able to successfully execute the sculpture relief. I do know that the fundraising campaign is being undertaken. I look forward to assisting in any way to help.
Thank you. If you can't tell, Andy is very passionate about the garden. He's been involved for a long time, and He's a master stone cutter himself. He knows about from what he speaks, and thank you.